Hey, get the hell out of the way.
Sorry, I just can't resist the camera.
That's it, asshole.
One of my favorite games that never got a sequel. Sleeping Dogs takes place in the criminal underbelly of Hong Kong, a city that's both vibrant as it is violent. And we play as a character named Wei Shen, an undercover cop that's attempting to infiltrate one of Hong Kong's most dangerous gangs, the Sun On Yee. And to put it simply, there's so much that just makes this game special to me, from the amazing and addicting martial arts combat to the intense chases both on foot and in car. And with that being said, of course, the voice acting is another big plus to me. They had a pretty great cast, and the writing really helps you develop feelings for each of these characters, with some that you're going to grow to love and some you're going to hate, and I mean really hate right off the bat. There's also tons of activities you can do, from racing down in Hong Kong to doing a little karaoke and even committing some insurance fraud. And there's basically something for everybody in this game. So let's not waste any time. Grab yourself some pork buns and let's go.
有没有发现的出现？就是他想要放弃还是去之前？有没有发现的出现？就是他想要放弃还是去之前？
Check it out! It's Ray DiCaprio!
That was our big boost? A shipment of cheap watches?
What?
Jackie, these are fake as fuck.
再坚持一段。
So within the first hour of playing Sleeping Dogs, I realized why I love this game so much growing up. And a lot of it has to do with United Front's masterful world building they did. From its diverse location to the busy markets and the neon lit streets, there's just so many different flavors that really just kind of all come together and just like the perfect dish. It's just so easy to get lost in the world of Hong Kong. Even early on in the game, when you're doing a mission for the Sun On Yee, you have to go shake down a couple vendors for some protection money. But as you make your way to collect the money, there's a whole festival going on around you. From stage performers to photographers and crowds of people enjoying the nightlife. It's just like little things like that that I think just make this game really special. And with that being said, another thing I really like a lot when it comes to the world building is how they tackle language in this game. Because a lot of the characters switch between English and Cantonese, and so it's kind of fun seeing some of the phrases and things they say, especially all the shit talking. Because who doesn't like hearing a little bit of shit talking in another language?
Still a total poke guy.
Seems to me you could use some better help.
你講乜嘢嚇 ？No offense，真係熟到爆㗎。
Bruh. And when we're talking about what we can hear, the soundtrack for this game is A1. One of the best soundtracks that I can remember from recent memory. And I've spent so much time just driving around Hong Kong, listening to some of these awesome songs. And like I said, all this really just helps add to the immersion and world building. Hell, there's even tons of shops you can visit throughout the game with different places you can stop for getting food and drinks, which will give you temporary combat bonuses, to apparel shops for buying clothing that'll give you permanent bonuses that you can use for Wei to help you out throughout the game. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you what I love most about this game. And I think I speak for everyone when I say it's the fucking combat, dude. I've myself trained a little bit of martial arts over the years, dabbling in a little bit of jiu-jitsu, wrestling, some Muay Thai, a little bit of boxing. So I have a deep appreciation for martial arts as a whole. And that's what, for me, makes it even more fun when I'm doing the combat in this game, because Wei utilizes a multitude of martial arts. You can do light attacks, which usually revolve around doing a couple punches, to using heavy attacks, which will go to your kicks. And how they do it is literally just after the press of a button or a key to combo these all together with the striking. You can also grapple your opponents, take them down. You can hit them with a fucking blast double, throw them over your head with like a nice little hip toss. And when you grab these guys, you can also clinch them, you know, doing a little dirty boxing action and adding some knees into the mix. There's just so much that I feel like makes this game work well. And you have a meter that's getting filled up as you're fighting people called the face meter. And once you max that meter out, the other guys kind of take a step back and are actually intimidated, because that's what you would be in real life. If you and your boys were trying to jump somebody and you just saw someone doing a fucking Moy Baran elbow strike right on top of your buddy's head and he drops like a bag of bricks, you're gonna take a step back and be like, maybe we shouldn't have fought this guy. I kind of like that aspect. Really make you like a total badass. But the other thing that's beneficial about it is Wei's damage actually gets increased when this meter gets filled, and his health comes back, because even though Wei can fight, a lot of your enemies can fight too, and all of them aren't going to play fair. You know, a lot of enemies are going to use different weapons on you, from knives to tire irons to even guns. You really got to kind of do whatever you can to take advantage of the situation. And one of the biggest advantages in combat for Wei is his counters. The counter system in this game is very similar to like the Batman Arkham series or some of the Assassin's Creed games, where the enemies will light up red briefly as they attack you, and all you have to do is press the counter button just in time, and that'll allow you to unleash quick and deadly combos, also opening up for more of your offensive attacks. But moving to another important element of combat, we can't forget environmental attacks. It seems like every game I've been playing on this channel recently, we've been able to use the environment to our advantage. And you can do some crazy things, from shoving dudes' heads into fans, fucking hooking them like you're playing Dead by Daylight. You can use different weapons as you're playing the game. I mean, shit, you could even pick up purses off the ground and smack people with it. It's just a really unique blend that really just makes this game that much more enjoyable. But of course, when we're talking about combat, we've got to get into the gunplay. And if you're a fan of John Woo films or Max Payne, that's pretty much what you're getting with the gunplay. When you're vaulting over stuff or disarming people, you get that bullet time slow-mo, and you can kind of pop shots off at each person as you're going, and it is definitely badass. They have plenty of dope guns, from shotguns, pistols, to assault rifles, even fucking noob tubes you can use at some point. But the combat in this game isn't only limited to the fights you can have on foot. There was also another element, which was the vehicle combat. First off, the driving itself in Sleeping Dogs felt initially a little clunky and outdated, especially compared to some of the newer open world games that have better driving mechanics. But what made the vehicles work so well was how we could use them in combat. From being able to ram enemies off the road to how the gunplay worked while driving. And that's where you could slow down time and take out tires of enemy vehicles, having them flip and fly up in the air and just blow up. You know, really giving this that Michael Bay wet dream approach with all these crazy, ridiculous Hollywood level explosions going on. And I've always loved that just over the top explosive vehicle gameplay. So next up, when we talk about other great gameplay mechanics, we have the parkour movement. And of course, free running and parkour isn't anything new to video games. In Sleeping Dogs, the way that they had the parkour, they added just enough of an element that I think really kind of enhanced some of the game. And it definitely did with some of the chase sequences. And there's always in like really cool areas where you had these crazy cinematic moments. So now that we've talked about some of the core gameplay mechanics, we'll jump into the story from here. I'm not going to go too much in depth because I really don't want to spoil much other than what you learn from like the first 2 or 3 missions of the game. But you play as an undercover officer named Wei Shen, and you're recruited by the Hong Kong police force after living in America for some time to come back and infiltrate the Sun On Yi from the inside. And it's a pretty loaded situation because on the professional side of things, you know, Wei's there to do his job, to help out the police force in Hong Kong. However, his return is also driven by very personal motivations, linked both to his past and a quest for revenge against the Triads for the damage that they've inflicted both upon his community and his own family. As the game progresses, obviously you're going to be doing everything you can to help the police, but you grow a bond within the Sun On Yi, and so things start getting twisted and everything isn't so black and white, and you start really getting into a gray area as an undercover agent. Wei is constantly having these like fucked up nightmares, replaying some of the events that happen in the game. And when Wei gets up, you can see Wei disheveled and he's just, you know, not having a good time. The stress levels are through the roof, and the intensity of what it would be like in a life or death situation where you can't be caught and you're in the middle of internal struggles within the Triad itself. So I think they did an incredible job with that. But with that being said, there's also plenty of missions in this game that are a ton of fun. There's missions where you're stealing watches with your buddy Jackie, to chasing after a wedding cake and then hijacking the vehicle to take it back. You even have at one point when you're having to break into a guy's house to fuck up his feng shui to make him think he's like haunted by the ghosts of people he killed. I love like all these wacky things that you can do. But when we talk about missions, I cannot leave out death by 1,000 cuts. Dude, fuck that mission, okay? I think I died like maybe 3 times throughout the whole game, but that fucking mission, I died 14 times. And for those of you who don't understand what this mission is, it's like the only mission in the game. It's ridiculously difficult for no fucking reason. Like the devs just put this in here to fuck with us, honestly. Basically what it is Wei has to beat up a couple enemy triad gangsters in this like parking lot, right? Unlike all the other missions, every single enemy has a knife and they're all fucking poisoned. So if you get stabbed once, you can't see shit because your screen gets all jacked up and you're poisoned, so your fucking health is just depleting rapidly. And you've got to kill 30 of these guys, dude. So yeah, it's a bullshit mission. When we talk about the voice acting and characters in this game, there's a lot of really big names that I didn't realize. The main character, Wei Shen, is voiced by Vivienne Lu. He also voices Masato Arakawa in Yakuza 7. A lot of people compare Sleeping Dogs to be the love child of GTA and Yakuza. So I think it's kind of cool that Vivienne Lu both voiced Wei Shen and a character in the Yakuza series. I think it's just like really poetic, honestly. But with some of the other characters, Emma Stone in this game, which I totally forgot, and she plays like one of the romanceable characters, Amanda Cartwright. Another character that you meet later on the story, Vivienne, she's voiced by Lucy Liu. I mean, this was like a pretty all-studded cast for a game that came out in 2012. Like, I was expecting, you know, A-list actors essentially to be voicing some minor characters throughout this game. Jackie Ma was another character I really enjoyed. I thought his voice actor did an incredible job. And all the writing, like I said, with this game makes you really bond with some of these characters. Of course, with mentioning characters I love, I can't forget the one I fucking hate, dude. And that's Dog Eyes. Just let this clip speak for itself.
Who's the new blood?
It's Wei. You remember Mimi Shen? Back when you first started getting girls with Big Smiley?
Oh, Mimi. Oh, yeah. First girl ever sucked my cock. Yeah, so what?
Wei's her brother.
And I was the first guy who ever stabbed you. You remember me now?
Whoa, wait, what the fuck, man?
What a piece of shit, you know? There's other enemies that do a great job making you fear them and hate them. But within the game, there's other things that you can do aside from just doing missions, doing a little karaoke, fight clubs, you have racing, do a little gambling, but you just kind of do a lot of different things. And even when you're helping out the police have a bunch of different side activities you can do as well. You can do these drug busts where you show up to these like alleyways, beat up all the gangsters, use your phone to hack into the camera, go back home, and once they come back to their hideout, you can send these 2 cops who are like the most OP Hong Kong cops ever, and they just show up and arrest whoever the leader of the group is. Some of the other missions were crazy. Like you had hostage negotiations, which the negotiation is a bullet to the head of the guy that has the hostage. You have shootouts. You have car chases. You even have moments where you're just running down other alleyways with a baton, just fucking smacking the shit out of everybody around. It's fucking awesome, dude. But there's also hidden items throughout the game too. Like you have these bad boys right here. These are called health shrines. And every time you find 5 of these, Wei's health gets increased by 10%. As the game progresses, enemies hit harder and harder. So you definitely want to find these whenever you can. You also have these lock boxes too. They usually have money and they also have some clothes you can get. A lot of this stuff is kind of hard to find. One of the things that can help you finding some of these collectibles is actually the dating in this game.
Tell me, Wei, have you ever had sex in a car?
Yeah, boy.
Wei can have like so many different flings. You meet different women throughout the game, like Emma Stone's character, Amanda. After you fully romanced her, those health shrines I mentioned earlier actually become available on your map, and you can actually see which ones you've gotten and haven't. Tiffany is another character that you meet in the game and you date, and once you've hooked up with her, you find these statues, and these statues you can actually take back to your old martial arts instructor at his kick-ass dojo, and he teaches you even more moves for the fucking combat, and some of the moves he teaches are pretty fucking dope. So each woman is valuable to date because not only do you get, you know, some of these perks of being able to find the collectibles that really help you out, but also the storylines are kind of interesting. There's even some points where some of the women can find out that you're dating other chicks in Hong Kong, and there's some funny stuff that could happen. I won't go too much detail, but it's pretty interesting. I could definitely tell why I've loved playing Sleeping Dogs so much. So if you haven't gotten a chance to ever play it, I definitely highly recommend this game to you, especially playing the definitive edition, because they also add some DLCs, which I didn't get into that much this time around. But the DLCs will add a couple more hours of gameplay that you can do after you beat the game. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like down below, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and of course share it to anyone else you think might like checking out a game like Sleeping Dogs. But other than that, guys, hope you're having a great day. Take care. Peace.